Hello, everybody. I'm Evie Lee. I work for STEM Ambassador East Midlands, and I run the Young Coders competition. I've been doing it for about 3 years now. As you might have just heard, we are recording this. So type your questions, keep your cameras and microphones off, please, and they'll be answered at the end. So let's start. What is the Young Coders competition? So it's a UK-wide competition looking for young people with the coding skills to be crowned the Young Coders Crew. Open for children's in years 4 to 8. So that's children aged 8 to 13. And then you've got your equivalents there for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Children can enter individually or as a team of 2 to 6 people. It's the ideal STEM club activity. And children create a game based on a theme using Scratch to enter. Winners get the prestige of having the Young Coders Crew title for a whole year, a personalised certificate and shield to prove it, plus money for your school. It's UK-wide, so it's got about 600 entries that we get each year. If you aren't within these ages, the students will still be able to receive feedback, but they aren't eligible to win. So how do the students benefit from taking part? They develop programming skills and it promotes creativity, sparks an interest in computing and coding, builds teamwork, communication, planning and problem-solving skills. Every entry will receive certificates of participation and feedback from the judges. Both the winning UK primary and secondary schools will also receive prize money and a shield. First prize is £200, second prize is £100, and then third prize is £50. Following so many entries that we get from overseas, there'll be a certificate for best international entry. However, they cannot win the prize money just for legal reasons. It's important to us for every entry to get feedback. Both primary and secondary schools win money. So CREST award eligibility. The competition has been assessed as meeting required standards of the British Science Association's CREST Awards. So that's discovery level at Key Stage 2 and bronze level at Key Stage 3. So from having a CREST Awards attached to this, students can gain a nationally recognised certificate of achievement. It encourages participation in the scheme at higher levels in the future. It enhances students' future UCAS personal statements and CVs. And it's recognised by universities and employers. So at the moment, discovery level costs £3 per student and bronze level £5 per student. CREST grants are available to support and enable schools and organisations to run CREST Awards. So if you are interested in doing this, I've heard that it will be going up in January. So if you can kind of get started now, you might be able to beat the price that it's going to go up by. I think it's only going to go up by £1. And more information at the CREST Awards website. So this year's 2024 theme is budgeting better. The challenge is to create a game using Scratch to teach other children about budgeting better. Imagine creating games that teach your friends how to save, spend, and manage money wisely. Imagine building a game where players can work and save for their dream toy, go on shopping adventures, or even start their own business. The more creative and fun the game, the better. And it will spark discussions around making smarter financial choices, understanding the value of money, saving money for a goal, and it also kind of would tie into British Science Week's theme of change and adapt. So if you're interested in getting a link between British Science Week and computer science, you could maybe talk about how you might need to change and adapt your budgets to, depending on what time of year, you could kind of do stuff like that as well. So another theme that you might want to talk about, which is very prevalent for tomorrow, I think it's Black Friday. So you might want to talk about how you could budget for that better. But if anybody is interested in linking with other parts of the national curriculum, I can send you over my list as well. So now we're going to have a look at some examples from last year. If you want to look at it further, you can have a look at this YouTube link, which I'll be sending out in the PDF. Let's have a look at an example up close. So this is one of our winning examples from last year. And if we scroll down to the bottom, you can see they have received a well done from us from our official Young Coders competition account. And they've also been added to our winners studio. I'm not going to press this because it might make loud blaring noises and I might not be able to hear anybody or myself speak. So let's have a look inside. So when we come inside, you can see there's coders notes and you can see that there are some sound sprites that they use. They've got different costumes and all the different sprites are like labeled. You can see that they've used all different coding on the different sprites they've used, and there is some coding on the backdrops as well. And then you'll see instructions. On this one, there isn't any credits, but if we go into another one, let's have a look at time and space. This is another one of our winners. You can see that there are notes and credits as well. If you are interested in looking at other different or past years that we've done and kind of the level of work that you might expect from a winner, you can see at the bottom we've got all different studios and there's all the different examples of what we've done in the past. These are also available on the website as well. So how is the competition judged? Round 1, every entry is judged by a panel of STEM ambassadors for constructive feedback and to highlight the top 20 games. This is based on the 3 categories: functionality, aesthetics, and community responsibility. So a STEM ambassador is a UK-based industry professional. So in this circumstance, they'll probably be in the tech industry. And they're able to help you with any problems that you might have with Scratch, troubleshooting and whatnot. You can have a look by going to that link. Round 2, the top 20 games are then judged by a panel of primary school students at Park Junior School using the same criteria. So after winning the competition 3 years in a row at the start of our competition in, I want to say 2019 or 2017, they are now the deciders for the first, second and third place winners instead of participating as a school. And as you can see right there, they take their role very seriously. So STEM ambassadors, they'll be able to help you if you are UK based. Park Junior School is in Northampton, in Wellingborough, you can see right on their badge. Next, we'll move on to judging criteria and example feedback. So these are all equally weighed, and there are 3 categories. Functionality at 33%. Does the game work as intended and is it easy to play? Does the game include original and well-written code? Aesthetics at 33%. Does the game display correctly and look attractive? Is the game imaginative and fun to play? And community responsibility, which is 34%. Is the game accessible for its target audience? For example, is it suitable for the target age range of 7 to 13 years? How well does the game address the theme? So the most common issues that we get when the judges come back to us is it doesn't fit the theme. So really, what we'd like for you to pass on to your students is it needs to fit the theme. So this year, it needs to fit something to do with money or budgeting better. And sometimes judges will come back to say that it has no context, as there's no coding notes or credits, so they're not sure if the game is made by a student or, where the sprites are from and everything. So there is a judging criteria summary that's available in the student support sheet, which we'll go through a little bit later. Here is an overview of the project pack. Here are kind of different ways to get your students excited about the competition. Maybe you could have an assembly to introduce the competition to your students. We have assembly slides and we have a script. You could print and hang posters around your school or at your code club. And you can also check out our website because we have links to our Scratch and YouTube pages, which, you can have a look and show your students the games that have been made in the past, give them a little bit of inspiration, and they could also watch the games as well. Here is the project pack overview. So for your resources planning, we have 2 different resources plannings that you could use. So if you yourself are not familiar with Scratch, we have resources that you can use to help you teach. So you have 12 weeks for complete beginners. This includes 10 weeks of session plans, and weeks 11 and 12 are included, but they're not linked. So that's in case you might have a short term, you might go on an excursion, or you might need a little bit of extra time. And you've also got 6 weeks planning for those with a little bit more Scratch experience, or your students might be a bit more familiar with Scratch. Week 6 is included, but it's not linked for added flexibility. On the project pack, we have this overview at the bottom, and it's a holy grail of resources for you. We received a generous grant from the WCIT to refresh our resources and ensure that they match the national curriculum, and they have PowerPoints for each lesson now, which I think is pretty cool. So here's a little bit more of the project pack overview. You might want to keep these documents on hand for any help and advice. So we have our student support sheet, which has a little bit of a reminder that you can give to your students. You've got the teacher FAQs, and the Young Coders website also has the frequently asked questions at the bottom as well. And you've got a glossary of terms. These will be nationally curriculum linked for you to have a look at. So, has anybody got any questions? Here is an opportunity to ask. We only have iPads for children to use, so have to be creative in how we can control the sprites. We entered last year, but the feedback didn't reflect this. It'd be useful if you can state the type of device the project has been designed to use with. So last year, we did make this clearer to the ambassadors that are judging that sometimes they might need to use a tablet or a smartphone to do the judging. I'd probably recommend put it in the email that you send to me, so then I can have a look and just make sure that's made very clear in the notes that we give to our ambassadors. How do I find the PowerPoint lessons? So you'll need to sign up at codingcompetition.org/register. I don't know if we've got it on here. Let me move on to this one. Yeah, so codingcompetition.org/register. Once you register there, you'll be able to access the PowerPoint of lessons. Where do we get the content for this year's theme? So this is our theme. So this is the 2024 theme, and that is budgeting better. So there is a assembly slide with all of this information on, and when you go to submit, there's also the theme PDF up there as well in the disclaimer at the top of the form. Can you explain a little bit more about submission? You can submit your entries by the deadline, which is the Friday 9th of May 2025. And there are individual entries and there are multiple entries. On our YouTube channel, which you can find here or on the website, there is also a little bit more of a walkthrough, and they're about 2 to 3 minutes long, just walking you through the multiple entry and the individual entries as well. Will there be any support available, e.g. specialists coming into school to help the students? So we do have STEM ambassadors. If you are in the UK or UK based, your school is, you'll be able to put a request on for an ambassador. If you'd like a little bit more help with that, or if you need any further guidance or are having any issues with the resources, my email will be on this PowerPoint, and I'll also email you afterwards as well with the PowerPoint. So if you do have any issues or you would like a specialist to come into your school, please give me an email and I'll signpost you to how to get that ball rolling. Are we able to see the source code of previous winner apps? Yes. So if you go onto the Scratch, you'll be able to have a look. So on here, you can see the different studios that are created. You have the Young Coders winners. So let's pick this one, for example. And if you need some help looking for the source code, you'll have a look at this purple button here that says see inside, and you can have a look inside, and you just need to click on different sprites and such to see how they might have done it. But there is resources on the website once you've registered that will help you through if you need a little bit more help. On each of these different curated studios, we have the top 25 of each year for you to have a look at if you want to have a look at more examples other than the winners. The children will use their school accounts. Yes, so this is all safeguarded. Every STEM ambassador judge has a DBS and they are DBS checked. And yeah, they can use their school accounts, and we would expect it to be uploaded onto the submission form by an adult so that we can contact you appropriately. So if you have any other questions, you can email or message us through our social media. Those are at the bottom down here. Good luck. Submit your entries by the deadline, which is Friday 9th of May 2025. You can submit individual entries by using our competition submission form, or multiple entries through our multiple entry form, which are both on the website as well. To register your interest and receive regular updates, you can check out codingcompetition.org. And if you have any further questions or need any further guidance or are having issues with the resources, please email me. Thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a good evening.